So we have got up to damp course layer, and we've got a little bit of a first corner up. We have got part of the oversight in, so we've got the MOT down, we've got a sand blinding down, that needs to be whacker plated down, and then the damp proof membrane will go on top of that. The reason we put sand blinding down is so the damp proof membrane doesn't get punctured by the MOT. That way you've got a continuous barrier against any rising water coming up from the ground. A couple of issues that you find when you join a extension to an existing building is sometimes, as is the case of this garage is not square. Although my wall is square, this garage is not. Another problem is some of these joints are very, very different. Some joints are 10 mils, some are 15 mils, there's one that's 20 mil, and others that are under 10 mils. So when you're toothing in to an existing building, and what I mean by toothing in is these will be taken out, and then we will continue our new brick into there so it becomes seamless with this. When you get different size joints, the issue is if you want to keep your wall level, then you have got to match the joints of that. And the problem with that is sometimes it can stick out like a sore thumb. Unfortunately, there's nothing that you can really do about it. We've got to tooth into there because it's good practice. The alternative would have been to have put a wall starter up here, which is a metal bar with lugs that come out. They sit on top of your brick and then it ties this wall into this wall. But we don't want to do that because it's not very sightly. One of the other issues we've got is that the damp proof layer, or the damp proof course, which is here, is about 20 mil higher than it is here, which ultimately means that when my bricks butt up against this wall here, they're not going to match. And what I mean by that is my joints aren't going to match. So the bricks are going to end up sitting like that instead of sitting like that. But we've got to do that because that is the only way that we can keep our wall and our brickwork level and plumb. Good morning, it's Tuesday morning and we are back in Inkbarrow on our garage conversion and renovation. So I'll turn you around and you can have a look at what we are going to be doing today. So we've taken out this doorway, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be building a return up there so we have something for our abutting walls to join onto. So we'll put a wall starter up there with the lugs coming out, and then we can join this wall to that. We are going to be taking out that and we're going to be putting an acro prop in so we can put our wall starter up here as well. We're going to be toothing these sections of brick out so we can join our wall as well. We're going to be building some wooden profiles for the door, which will sit there, and the window, which will sit here, and we'll continue getting this brickwork up and possibly get some block work up as well. So that is the goal for today.
Hi there. Right, today I'm going to be using this timber here to make profiles for our windows and doors. And a profile is essentially a wooden frame that we use to simulate the size of the window and the door opening so that we can get our brickwork in without necessarily having the windows ready on site. And then once the windows arrive, they'll just slot straight into the openings that we put in. So I'll be cutting and screwing together these lengths of timber to the dimensions that we need for the windows, and and that way we can get our brickwork up nice and quickly.
Good morning, it is Thursday and we are back on the extension conversion of this garage. Yesterday was a write-off because it was chucking it down, so we've got no work done then. So what I'll do is I'll flip you around, I'll show you what we've done and what we're going to do today, and then we'll get a time lapse set up and we'll let you see what we do. So we've got some of the brick and block work up. We've got some of the 215 brick and block work up. We have got the profiles for the window and the door. And what we're going to do today is we're going to continue bringing this brickwork up as high as we can get it. We're going to start filling in this block paving because at some point we're going to need trestles on this. And we are also going to be cutting down here. The reason for that is we're taking this nub out, and although we're going to keep the garage door in for the time being until we've got the structure up and the building is secure, because obviously you can get through here into the house. So we are going to be cutting with a steel saw but not taking this out. That way we can get the block work in and the cut mark is already there. Steel saw is quite wide, and if we put the block work in first, we're not going to be able to get the steel saw in and our cut line will not be straight. So we'll set up the time lapse and you can see us working today. Hello, it is Tuesday and we are back on the garage extension and conversion. It's the afternoon, morning was written off due to the storm, however it's cleared up a little bit now and we are going to be taking down the asbestos ceiling in this garage. So we'll set up a time lapse and you can see how we're doing. So we've got the asbestos down off the ceiling and the next part is bagging it and disposing of it. So the health and safety executive states that you need to wet it down, double bag it and then wrap it in polythene, and then it can be disposed of at a recycling centre which takes asbestos, which in our case we have one in Worcestershire. So we'll set up a time lapse and you can see us doing that. Morning, we are back in our extension and conversion of the garage, and today's going to be a busy day. In the morning we are going to be putting in the door and the window, and in the afternoon we're going to be making a start on putting the roofing timbers in. So the joists, and if we get that far, some of the decking as well. I'll set up a time lapse and you can watch what we do.